Super excited to be here. Unfiltered women's voices. Just perfect words.
It is, isn't it? Oh my God.
Yeah. And yes, we welcome everybody who's going to be able to listen to this. And we're excited that you've decided to be on the journey with us. With us, my name is Stella Kikoyo, and with my great friend here, Delany. And now, Delany, you are going to be telling us more about yourself, what you do. I know you're all about the rise to greatness.
Yes.
Oh, amen. She is taking us to places, this lady, and that's why I'm on this mission with her. So you can see the alignment in total. So, lady, tell us more about yourself, and if possible, please help all those listeners, whoever is going to join us on this path, to know, how did this come about? How are we in this place right now?
Divine providence. My name is Delany, and my I guess let's call it a movement, let's call it a great wish, is about the rise to greatness of all of us, and particularly women. And this has come about for me. I've been in the space of coaching, leading, facilitating in the healing spectrum, in the spiritual, in the neuro-spiritual spectrum, music, the arts, community development, many things, and the corporate world too. And I went through, a number of years and some deconstruction, as many of us do at different times in life, where everything gets pulled apart. And on the other side of that, last year, we were floating around islands in Thailand. We had my partner, beautiful man, Richie, and I had come to Thailand, and we were floating around. And I thought maybe I'd just do some meditation tracks and maybe do some teaching English online. And that was not to be. Yeah, that's not what I'm here for. And in fact, there's a whole other phase, and that's where Rise Up to Greatness came from. And so what I want to be part of creating a new way of operating. Yeah. Where we go beyond mediocre, and where we go beyond hiding and worrying about, what other people think and how we fit. I've never been one who's fitted, but I just see so many amazing people, amazing women with brilliance and so much to share and bring, of many different ages and backgrounds and abilities. And they're being held back and holding themselves back. And so that's where I really get my fuel for my fire from, is that I know there's so much more possible. And I got to share a room with this woman in Singapore. We were there with our business coach, and Martin Ho, her partner, an amazing event. And we got to share a room and got to know each other. I'm so glad that we didn't get our own room. I'm so glad that we came together like that, because we would have these late night chats and morning chats, and we just found this space with each other to be really real and really authentic, and to be able to have some deep and broad and wide conversations that, hit a level of realness that turns me on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And a comfortability with it. And you, my friend, have such an incredible ability to be a space that facilitates that.
Oh, that's so good to hear.
Yeah, that's why I'm here. Why are you here? Tell us about you, Stella, woman.
Right. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. And we understand why we're actually here right now. And for me, you can tell Stella, woman, everything she said is so much aligned to what I want to bring to the world. For me, it was a journey. How Stella Woman started was a journey within myself. Coming to the realization that I had so much, and everything I had was hidden around stories I was telling myself.
Yeah.
And the stories that other people were affirming to me, especially those you've kept around, and all of you realize that you've been telling the same story for a couple of years. And then you start to feel that there's something within you, something more that needs to come out to rise to greatness. Anyway, that thing that is inside there. But then you also realize that there's another bit of you, one that is focusing on your limitations or the things you're perceived, they're really perceived. And you realize that's what you've been doing all this time. And that's why you can't rise to greatness. You can't become a stellar woman because you have been focusing on some kind of perception of who you are. And, oh, I can't speak up. I'm too shy. I am meant to be like this. Yeah. And you get comfortable with that. But then there is this other dream. There's this other woman that you feel is within you, and you know you can't become her if you continue to be this. If you continue to focus on these limitations, you can't become her. And then the journey started for me to peel off those layers, to start to face whatever I have to face as I rise to greatness, as I become a stellar woman. I needed to start to drop. And yes, it's a journey of a long journey that I have been taking for a long time, lots of trainings, because you have to start wherever you are. And in the same process, I realized that there have to be stellar women in the world. And I needed to capture their journey, not only for myself, but for others. So the search started, and that's how I've interviewed amazing women like Sharon Later, Kim Kiyosaki. It's because I realized that whatever I have as my limitations, other women have broken through them. So what have they done? What are their mindsets? What are they? But not only for myself, but it was for others as well. I want us all to bring that stellar woman within ourselves. I want us all to rise to the mission of rising to greatness, and definitely getting into the room with you. For me, from the word go, I realized that it was purposeful. Even when you said you're available, I knew immediately there was a reason I was going to be in that room with you, but I didn't know why, but I knew it was on purpose, definitely. And when you talked about this, like I just said thank you. That's how I said it. It wasn't thank you to you. It was just to you. I mean, it was thank you to the universe.
Yeah.
Because I knew that to become a stellar woman, I need to be authentic. I need to have real conversations to deal with what is real, not to make up these stories, the whatever we claim that we make up our excuses. Yeah. And I need people like you definitely on this journey. It's so much of alignment, and I'm just grateful, really, really grateful that you put it out in space. And I'm happy, I'm excited. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. You know, it's just so interesting. It's like we've chose to have a theme for our first call. Maybe it'll be the theme for a while, who knows, but about expression. And, you know, when I look back on my life and the work I've done, I've worked with Indigenous people and people with disabilities, and I've worked with women, and I've worked with young people in that group in Australia we called at risk, you know, so the naughty ones. And I think the confetti fell then because I was one of those. And
I love that.
and I've seen the commonalities of us all. And I've seen the brilliance in all these different people. I've worked with people that have the label of intellectual disability and found absolute brilliance and creativity and a different way of seeing and experiencing the world that has opened me up. Yeah. And I want to tell you something I discovered through my research in the last week or so, that there was an experiment done and it was set up by NASA. And I've just forgotten the year right now, but there were 1,600 children aged 4 to 5. And do you know, they were testing them for the capability of genius. 98% had the capability to be a genius between the ages of 4 and 5. And as they entered school and went through that, it dropped and dropped and dropped, so that by the time they were, like before high school, they were down to 30%. But by the time that they were 31 years old, only 2% still had the capability. Now, what I love is that we now know that our brains have plasticity and they can regrow, they can reconnect, and we have things, are they called dendrums? Like they actually get pruned when we don't use them. So you know how when a baby's born, it actually has all the ability to make all the sounds of all the languages in the world. Yeah, as kids are really, yeah. And as they don't use it, they get pruned. It cuts.
Yeah.
It cuts. Yeah. And so this study showed, and I was speaking with someone this morning who told me about another study in Australia that was a different study, but showed the same information. And so what that is showing me is that 98% of us have the ability to be genius. 98% of us actually have that within us that makes us great. And this I know, it doesn't matter if we can't speak. It doesn't matter if we have had different experiences. Look at our experiences. Yeah, they're different in the, and we can go that journey one day as well.
Exactly, yes.
But you know, like it's this thing of, wow, this excites me. This affirms to me that Stella woman, rise up to greatness. The women that I know in the world that are moving and shaking and making change and facilitating others to step into themselves, that we're all on the right track and that it is possible.
It is possible.
Yeah.
It is possible. Thank you. I love that. I love this, the statistics, but also the revelation of that truth. And we actually need to focus, put our energy, attention to that possibility. Yes, and shake up whatever perspective we've been holding on to. So all those years, as they were doing that study you're talking about, people were reformation or information, whatever it is. But it is it's still possible for you.
Yeah.
To unlearn and relearn. So there's a choice you have to make.
Yeah.
There's a choice. And actually I was looking at Kim Kiyosaki's tweet yesterday, and it was about people who define, you get a label, you label yourself and you stay in that zone, that I'm conservative, I can't easily change, I'm not like you.
Yeah.
So I can't easily change. And that means you stay in that zone. That inability to find a possibility that is within you, that greatness that is within you, that stellar woman that is within you. So we are in a new era anyway, where we can be able to test it out, to test out what we are talking about.
Yeah.
There's a lot of information, and you can see whatever you think you are not. You are more than that you think that you are. Yeah. And it's a journey that we are on. It's a beautiful journey of self-discovery. I know, to our greatness, that rise is a beautiful journey. And we start with these unfiltered voices to be able to open up to the perspectives, the challenges we have, and you put up expressions. And maybe that's somewhere where we can also go into in terms of expressions.
Well, I just want to, because I love the definition of things, yeah. Even though
Yeah.
I love the undefined and I love rearranging things, I like to look at where things come from. And so the word expression, it's about linguistics, it's the processing of and how we convey thoughts, ideas, emotions, and information, yeah, including how we use our voices. One of my great loves is voice. And
Yeah.
so how we can use that, the tone and our non-verbal cues. Working with people labeled disabled really showed me lots of different ways of communicating. And then there's the psychology of it, so it's our emotional and mental state. And there is our creative expression. Yeah.
That creative expressions, and it's also connected to marketing that I do. And marketing is all about expressing that. But you're also a performer, so it's all about expressions.
And that's what
Yeah.
captures people. You know that as a brand expert. Like
Mm.
that's what captures people is how we express. And I've taken it on recently to really watch people, and I may not agree with what they're saying, but I watch the power of their words and energy and their movements and how they engage and how they can manipulate and how they can pull people in. And it's fascinating. And the more that we connect with our own self and our own authenticity. And remember, for me, it's not just that redefining and relearning, it's remembering who we are. Because if we enter with the ability to be genius, then what? And that connection, call it God, call it source, whatever, whatever your belief system is, but that energy of creation that is beyond the human form, then when we engage with that, and we're allowing ourselves to truly express, that is where the brilliance. Now that energy can come through and we can influence, whether it's for the betterment or whether it's for our own agendas, like whether it's for all. And
Manipulative.
yeah. And so, and for me, this is another thing about skilling ourselves up to trust ourselves and really connect with our inner guidance system or our greatness guidance system, our intuition and that deep knowing, because then we know where the truth is. Yeah.
It's
We
beautiful.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
something I'm really, really committed to.
Exactly. Me too. Me too. I love it. I love understanding the self as a spirit, because then you start to understand how much you are boundless and
Mm.
you're limitless. And I, if you can tap into that, that is the truth, the real truth, and then express it. Express it. It's a form of vibration. The moment you express it, it's going to bring something back
Yeah,
to you. Yes. So it's us coming to that realization, but also rising to it, stepping into it, making a foot, making an intention around it, so that we can make that change and evolve and become the better beings that we are meant to be.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And it takes courage for that.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
for many of us, where we've come from and the lives we've led and what has got us to here, we've shown ourselves how much courage we have.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. And now it's
Yeah.
just a bit more. Come on. Just a bit more. Just keep going, because
Yeah.
yeah, if you've made it to wherever you've made it to through everything that you've made it through, my God, you've got courage. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
world, when everything that's going on, doesn't matter your belief system, doesn't matter your politics, doesn't matter any of that. What's going on in the world is huge, and it's a huge
Yes.
massive deconstruction and change. And it is through that connection with ourselves and source.
Yes, that's beautiful.
That's how we move forward. That's how we
Yes,
don't drown in the information overload. It's how
yes,
we can actually create amidst the chaos and the crazy
yes. Yeah, yeah,
and form authentic connection, which is brings
yes,
us back to how we got here, was that ability to just come together and be authentic so deeply and so quickly
yeah,
together.
yeah,
Led us to
yes,
be able to go, hey, let's do this program together and let's see what we
exactly. Yeah, that's very true. And it's beautiful, really beautiful. Yesterday, I was on one of the guys and post actually. He has just completed his NLP masters. And one of the aspects actually at the real bottom of his post was that authenticity is 4,000 times, it has a 4,000 times frequency than love. I just thought, wow, this is why we are doing what we are doing. That's how powerful it is.
because when you're being authentic, Stella, you are being love and you are being gratitude, because underneath all the stories, underneath all the bullshit that we spin, underneath all the excuses and all of that, you are unconditional love. You are gratitude. That is who you really are.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
You encompass all of it together.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's so
And
good.
and when you can receive the experiences that you've had, just as for that they're just experiences.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's a great knowing. Just knowing that is powerful and accepting it and really embodying it. That is just an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And life becomes so much easier because you can draw on that rich tapestry, can't you?
Yes. 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 It's who you are. You are different. You needed to go through the experiences to be who you really are, really, with your
Yeah.
uniqueness. Exactly. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. This journey is amazing. And definitely, we are going to be learning a lot as we explore ourselves, what is actually within and what's outside there, and how to actually elevate ourselves, elevate that consciousness, and bring that greatness within us. Express it.
Express yourself.
You've given us something that I thought is also important. It's every day having the intention to actually, the courage to move into those new zones. And I think I interviewed a lady, she's Australian. She's one of the Chartered Institute of Marketing Board members. And she said every single day, if you could give yourself one thing that you are always scared to do, if you do one thing every single day, that you're scared to do whatever it is, whether to go live, whether to go on a record, or whatever it is that scares you, and you take the courage to do that, you are just becoming more and more and moving into your greatness.
Yeah. It's so relevant for me. Like, I was somebody who came from very dark beginnings and a level of kind of autistic, you know, what was dysfunction. And how I got to here was being willing to be scared. When I first stepped on stage to sing, like I was about 30, I had left all that behind with the darkness and everything. I deliberately stopped it. And for that first year, I was so ill, like 2 days before I would go on stage. I would be terrified. And people had no idea of this, right? And eventually I had an experience that led me to flip that terror into actual excitement about what I was doing. But
Yeah.
it took quite a journey to get there. But
I
that
know.
thing of actually being willing to scare yourself and feel uncomfortable,
Yes.
because the lead up is way worse always
Yeah.
than the actual doing. Like when I was on stage, that wasn't the problem. It was getting on the stage that was the problem, you know? It was just
And
classic.
sometimes even just the thinking about it, which is so much relatable. I remember my first time to do a live, and I knew I had to do lives, but I would say no way, I'm not doing it. And one time someone pressed the button and I was live. I almost wanted to throw down the phone. I just like I thought, how dare you do this to me? And it became so hard. I would tap to go live and I would be on it for like seconds and switch off immediately. It was like the world is going to swallow me up. And you're there alone, but the feeling is as if something is going to go through you. And until I just said, I have to keep doing this for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it is, I have to keep going. And today I just go live any minute. You tell me you want to go live, we just go live. I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
But I used to just, the thought of thinking about going live would just kill me. Just the thought, just the
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah. And that can be about conversations with people we love and care about. It can be conversations at work. It can be expressing what we really think about something. Can feel absolutely terrifying for people.
Yeah.
But you've got to
Yeah.
start somewhere. And it is
Yes,
only with the experience.
exactly. That you
Imperfect
finally
action.
break through.
And we don't have to get it right all the time. We don't have
No,
to be perfect.
no,
This
no.
is the thing, you know, like
Yes.
we build up these expectations or think everything has to be, and it just doesn't.
Mm,
This is our
no.
lives. We can actually make a choice about, I'm going to
Yes.
practice this.
Yes. Yes. I'm going to experience it. I'm going to explore, just explore that area. If you have just that attitude of curiosity and just explore like kids. I don't know
Yeah,
what it is about. But I
yeah.
think we are attached to, like you talked about perfectionism, I think, and I was just this perfectionist for so long. And that bit I needed to break off me. That was hard. That was hard to allow myself to just be with all those flaws and show them to the world. That was scary because that's not me. It wasn't me.
Maybe that can be our topic for next time. Yeah,
Exactly,
live
exactly. Yeah.
perfection.
Yes, 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 yes. I've loved this. Love this. It has been great, really,
Yeah,
talking about
been
all of
really,
this.
really good. Well
Yeah.
done. Congratulations.
And you too. And I'm grateful that you created the time. I hope it will be something that anyone else can see themselves through it and find the ability to express that is within themselves. And we believe in that way you'll be finding the stellar woman. You'll be going towards your greatness, rising to it. That's what we believe. Yeah. We thank you so much for being here with us. If you're just watching another recording, you are great. We know that you're great and
We
you're
do.
just revealing that greatness. Be with us on this journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We will see you again soon.
See you soon. Bye bye.